Hi guys, welcome along to today's video. It's going to be on removing the rear bumpers and the side skirts. We've already taken the front bumper off, which I did in a previous video, so these are all going to get taken off so they can go away for paint. Going to keep the rear bumper pretty short because I've already sort of covered that in a previous video, taking the rear bumper off. Now if you just wanted to remove the rear bumper, you don't have to take the undercarriage off. You could just undo the 8 bolts at the back. Now I've already took the wheels off, as you can see, and I've already taken that off underneath. Again, it just unscrews. There's several sort of M6 and a normal sort of Phillips screws in it to take that off. Drop that out. So now I'm going to take these wheel liners out, very much like we did at the front. They've got sort of 5 or 6 screws in. Take them, we can access some bumpers, bolts then. So rear bumper removal, same on either side. Take these out, just held in with 4 screws, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Once they're out, then to remove the back bumper, I'm going to use 30mm socket on there, and then a 17mm socket on these two bolts up here. Same again either side, and then the whole bumper will slide off. So I've got the 8 bolts undone, hold the bumper on. It's all dead simple. I'm just going to pull this off now and just disconnect the rear number plate lights. So that's the rear bumper off and on the deck, and just like before, got to take these 3 mesh grills out. Again, they're just held in with a few screws, so that's easy enough to pop them out and get these off. And then there'll be the number plate and number plate lights to remove as well. So I've removed the rear number plate, and then obviously we've got these number plate lights to remove. Should be pretty straightforward. 2 screws to undo. Bit difficult with one hand, but yeah, we're getting there. 2 screws to undo, lifts out, and then there should just be a couple of plugs on the back of this. See the white plugs. So undo these little push-on plugs, and that's the lights out. So I'm going to remove these side skirts. What I have done now is taken the front wheel arch liner out. There's just 4 screws, and that's revealed in here. I can show you that there's a screw down there that's holding the front on. I don't know if you can see that. So that's holding the front side of this skirt on. And then we've got underneath here, all the way along, there's probably, I don't know, 10 to 12 screws ever so often up into it. And so I'll get those undone, and then we'll have to take out the real wheel liner out. It's simple enough. Again, probably 5 or 6 screws, but there is one on top that's onto the back of the air box, and then on the opposite side there's from the air system, there's a bracket there that just holds the cylinder in place. So I can just undo that and remove the reservoir. Pretty simple. On the back wheel arch liner now, so I'm just going to undo these screws. So that's the liner out, and then in here we've got this bolt to undo, and then there's another two inside there holding the top part of this on. And then there's one down here. So and then there's two along here. So we'll see if we can get them freed off, but they look a bit of a nightmare. They're rusted welling. I'm in the trying to undo probably the trickiest bolt of them. So the bolt's roughly here. So there's a nut on the back side. I can just about get my fingertips to it. I managed to get a 10mm spanner down there, and I'm just undoing it quarter turn at a time. I put some penetrating fluid on it first because it's very rusty and the spanner doesn't fit it proper, but it is coming. As I say, some of these I think will need to be cut off, which we'll have to use a small Dremel on, but cross that as we come to them. Let's see which ones we can get undone. Hey, success. That has got to be the most difficult nut to undo in this job anyway. So with those four finally undone at the back, there's these roll bolts underneath there. So I want to take them out. So use the impact driver. That'll link here on it. That's all those out now. So I've got this final one to take out from behind here. It goes into the wing. Take that nut off again with the 10mm socket, and then we've got to get into the stuff that's inside the door. So I'll reposition and we'll get sorted. We've got to remove this panel and this kick plate on the sill, so we can access basically whatever's left holding it on. So first thing I'm going to do, 19mm spanner, take away the striker for the latch. And there's also a bolt underneath it. And then behind this seal there's a screw at the top, and then there's one here at the bottom, just a posi, so we'll whip those two out. That should now allow us to remove this panel. The only difference is on the driver's side you've got the boot release. So basically where this slot is here is where the boot release sits. There's just one screw, again a posi. Take that out, and then that'll actually the lever will actually slot through that panel. So then that panel can come off. Now we've got to get the kick plate off. So as you can see now, with all that removed, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those fastenings to take off, and then I think we should have done everything to take this sill off. So I'm just starting at the front wheel arch and just teasing it and working it way back just to get the studs out that's holding it. So there we go. Oof. So I've got both off. Passenger side a lot easier than the driver's side. As you can see, these are the studs, what the nuts were in. So I had to get my hand in from here and reach along, and I say I could just about get my fingertips on this from the back. Very, very difficult. I was fortunate on the driver's side that when I came to do it, I got the spanner on and it sheared off. So I was, I know it sounds bad that it sheared off, but I'm not sure I would be able to do, because I've had to cut this one off, because literally you couldn't get a spanner on it because it rusted away that much. It wasn't even the shape of getting anything on it, to be fair. And that's been the same with everything on this driver's side. So I was glad that this one sheared off, and then the others I've unfortunately had to cut off. But I'm pretty hopeful that we can get these inserts and replace them. So the passenger side wasn't too bad. They all actually undid with a bit of GT85 on it, to be fair. That's the one for the front wheel well, and you can see the amount of crap that's sort of built up. Car will be faster once we've got rid of all this. There's a ton of gravel under the car as well, which is all collected over the years. So I'm yeah, pretty happy they're off. So the next thing now to do on this is to remove the grills that are in, and also the badges. But I'm going to make up a little template out of some masking tape so I can get the position of the badge correct when I go back on, because the badges just look like they're sort of glued on. I'm probably going to order new badges as well, because these look a little bit ratty. So just made a bit of a template out of some masking tape, put some dimensions on it, and then I've marked the edges here, so I've got a datum on two sides to put this through. I'm going to take that off now, transfer that onto a bit of paper, and then when the badges come off, at least I know how to get them back on in the correct place. Now I will have to do a bit of research. One of the guys told me today that you should only have one Pininfarina badge on. I'm not sure if that's true or not. There's definitely two on this car, but whether a previous owner decided to put that on. But I'll have to find out about that. So these inserts that sheared off or had to be cut off, I've been able obviously just to work them out. They're just a flathead into these recesses, so I'm pretty hopeful we'll be able to buy some replacements of those. But yeah, just been sort of getting a screwdriver in them, and just working them up. I'll get a bit of penetrating fluid on this one and loosen that off. And then we'll get the
car cleaned up, because obviously now we can get to areas that, well, you could never get to before with the body panels on.